Yeah. I don't got no water in my coffee, bro. I'll still be water. No, I get a piece down. Hey, man. Give me the water. Yo, up.
In this video, you see Cyrus wearing.
Yo, it's your boy Mike Geesh. What's up with y'all? Yeah, today we got something a little serious. I know the whole country has heard of the not guilty verdict. Rick Chow, the man who killed Cyrus Carmack Belton, 14-year-old kid, who was killed, and his killer got off not guilty verdict. This has the country in flames, because this is something we've seen so many times over the years. A young black man goes into a store and gets racially profiled, and he gets followed and looked around and followed. I have been spied on in stores like this myself. I've never been followed like this. You know, this is very aggressive. As we know, this happened 3 years ago, but you know, the effects of it are reverberating now that Rick Chow has been acquitted, you know, of murder charges against this young man.
Wearing a red jacket, telling Rick Chow's wife he does not have any water in his pockets before picking up his backpack and walking out of the store.
And shortly after, Cyrus was...
All right, man, this the thing obviously messing up. But yeah, man, this is a sad situation. As you see the black dude, he looking like, man, what's going on? What y'all got going on? Because the boy didn't do anything. You took a life over water bottles that he didn't even have. This reminds me of a story from back in the day. In the 90s, 1992. (1992), girl named Natasha. I put it on there. Natasha, I think it was. And it was a real big situation. It was over there in L.A. 15-year-old Latasha Harlins.
With the 30th anniversary this week of the 1992 LA riots, Fox 11 is taking a look back at the seeds of unrest even before the beating of Rodney King. There's a name that is also synonymous with that uprising. That's Latasha Harlins. Our Christine Devine has her story.
To understand the LA riots of 1992 is to know its backstory.
I just want to say, you know, can we all get along? Can we get along?
Video of the 1991 beating of Rodney King.
Not trying to you know, make this comedic or anything, because this is not anything funny about anything about this. But what he just said, can we all just get along? And back then in the 90s, that became a very famous saying. And people that are too young, y'all don't know that. That can we all just get along? That became like a meme, like in Living Color. Everybody was jokes, comedians, you know, a tagline on TV shows. Can we all just get along? That it became a funny tagline, which is crazy because this was a horrible situation that happened when Rodney King got beat down. But anyway, we talking about Natasha, so which was around the same time. Natasha happened before this, like a year, same year or a year before. They'll let you know. Just thought that was a little tidbit.
King by LAPD office is infamous, but 2 weeks after this, there was a case that would also shake South Central LA to its core.
It was like Emmett Till. Everybody just ready to go to war. Everybody ready to fight.
Latasha Harlins was 15 when she was shot and killed by a liquor store owner, a Korean immigrant who accused the teen of trying to steal a bottle of orange juice.
We grew up together. We only 4 months apart. So we grew up together in the same house all the way from birth till the day she passed away. So it's my sister.
Shanice Harlins Kilgore is Latasha's younger cousin.
You lived how far from this market?
Oh, roughly a half a block away.
And it's normal to come here?
Normal to come here.
Here is now a numero uno market, but back in 1991 on Figueroa and 91st, it was Empire Liquor.
I can still see her right there where she dropped that in the front of the camera, you know, from the video. So no, I don't go in there.
Security video captured a scuffle between clerk and customer. Sun Jadu shot the teen in the back of the head, killing her. Witnesses said Harlan's had cash in her hand.
To die with $2 in your hand, that lets you know that she was not that person that the media or whomever say so is what she is.
Du was convicted of voluntary manslaughter, but given probation. April 29, 1992, the not guilty verdicts in the beating of Rodney King. 4 LAPD officers acquitted. Rioters took to the streets, and after years of cultural tensions, half the businesses burned or looted. 2,000 of them were Korean-owned.
This 15-year-old child who got her brains shot and blown out over a dispute over a bottle of orange juice was the precursor to the civil unrest in '92 after the jurors found the LAPD cops not guilty for beating Rodney King.
That was activist Najee Ali last year.
We will never forget LaTosha Harlins.
It was at a playground dedication and a mural of LaTosha Harlins at Algin Sutton Recreation Center.
It was really beautiful.
There's a whole generation that may not know the story of LaTosha Harlins, but there is a movie in the works, and last year a Netflix documentary got an Oscar nomination.
You'd come to this park as a child?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day.
So it means what to have that artwork?
Priceless. Lots of emotion.
The Rodney King beating.
I was a young anchor during this era, reporting live during the 1992 civil unrest. This picture ending up in a university textbook to the Harlins family, documenting history matters.
Just so that this generation can know about what happened 30 years ago, because they don't know. If you ask a 18-year-old, 19-year-old, it's not taught in school. It's not taught in their household, or it's just, it needs to be relevant right now.
All right, man. Yeah. So, again, that was LaTosha Harlins, her situation, where she was in a Korean-owned store, and they thought she was stealing a bottle of orange juice, shot her in the head, blew her brains out. 15-year-old girl. And now today we have a similar situation, and also with Rodney King too. Both of those situations, they were acquitted. They were acquitted. Didn't go to jail. Did not go to jail, man. Same situation. So this is something that has been repetitive. It's not the first time. This is something that has happened throughout history of this country, especially over the last 2 or 3 decades. It was 30 years ago. I was 12 years old when this happened. I remember this very vividly. LA went crazy. They burned LA down over this. It was very horrendous. But so let me for a second, let me speak on the history between Asians and black people in this country. First off, after slavery, around like right after the Civil War, Asians started coming into the United States, coming here into the United States and taking up a lot of jobs. Quite naturally, they came here to get away from China or wherever they might be, Korea, Japan, wherever they might be coming from. But these immigrants, Asian immigrants, came to America looking for work. And around the same time, black people was looking for work because we just got free from slavery. So there was always a source of tension in that area. But what Asians had that we didn't have, they had a connection to China. America, after we started doing business with China, which is after World War I, World War II, and they reconstructed their relationship with China and Japan, with the Asian countries, that dealt with the economy. So now what America has done, aka white people or whatever, the power structure, we won't say white people because I know it's not all white people. The power structure, the white power structure, is has basically teamed up with Asians against blacks. So first white people disenfranchised black people, and then they made a deal with mostly Chinese but Asian communities where they could come into our disenfranchised neighborhoods and set up shop. And they give them all types of incentives and credit, credit incentives and everything when they come over here. That's why you have unhealthy Chinese restaurants in the neighborhood. That's why you have laundromats in the neighborhood. And that's why you have the thing that is worst that the Asian conglomerate has done to the black community, in my opinion, is set up beauty shops, because now they control our entire hair product line. Asians control our hair products. That's different from just setting up a restaurant. That's just restaurant. You can choose not to eat there, but they control an infrastructure connected with our being, with our bodies, products that we need for our hair. You have to, 9 times out of 10, if you don't go to Walmart or you don't go to, Target or wherever else to get your hair products, you go to a beauty supply store, 9 times out of 10 is going to be owned by Asian, and convenience stores and all that. So they 9 times out of 10 are incentivized to look at us a certain way. And that has been a constant throughout the decades. Now, we can't put it all on the Asians. We can't put it all on there. We can put it most of it on the Asians and on the whites. They get about 85, 90% of the blame. Yes, they do. Black people, we got to take the part of the blame where we commit crimes in the neighborhood, and it gives people a reason to look at us a certain way. That doesn't mean innocent people need to get their head blown off and need to die. Of course not. But you guarantee before Cyrus Carmack Belton came into that store, they probably got robbed a couple times before. Some people, kids coming in there shoplifting. People trying to sell dope in front of the store. People doing this, people doing that. So they on edge. It makes them more racist than they probably would have been because of a lot of our actions. But let's get back to the situation at hand. We got to keep it real on all angles. So that happened. And now fast forward to today, the same situation with Rick Chow. He has killed this young man. And it's so sad. It's such a reminder of what we've been going through for a very long time, and the tumultuous relationship between blacks and Asians. And of course, we all know after the coronavirus and the hate that was against the Asian community, there is now an Asian hate bill that's out here. So the Asian hate bill, and you also have the homosexual community. They have bills and certain rights where if it's a hate crime, you'll go to prison for even longer. But there doesn't seem to be anything for us, which was supposed to be the purpose of the whole Black Lives Matter movement. But we see how that turned to shit. So we don't even want to go there. But so we take the blame on certain parts like Black Lives Matter. We don't have a power source, infrastructure. We don't have any leverage over anyone. Everyone has the leverage over us, and they use it. They use it. And we have nothing but get in the streets, riot, tear up everything. And that's why we do that, because we know in our souls that we don't have any leverage. God is supposed to be our leverage. God is supposed to be our leverage because we are his people. But how can we use the Lord as leverage when we don't even abide by his sayings and his doings and his commandments? That's a whole nother discussion for another day. But it's a sad situation, man. Rick Chow not guilty. Don't know where it's headed next. I don't think anybody's going to do anything. No rappers are going to do anything. No politicians are going to do anything. People are just going to get mad, and it is what it is. That's how it's happening. And like I said, the reason these type of situations have gone on with the Asians is because there are deals in place, and they can't set a precedence where they lock people up. They have to make it look good on behalf of, the Asian conglomerate, I'm guessing. They can put a white person in jail here or there. But if you're on business property and all that type of stuff, it all correlates, man. But Yeah, it's a conspiracy against black people. You better believe it. Innocent people die, and it could have been avoided. Could have been avoided. Plain and simple. All right, y'all. I'm out, man. I'm your boy Mike Jeesh. Peace.